This is my second time trying to film this video, so if it doesn't work this time, I may actually cry. But hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I decided that I wanted to tier rank all of the books that I read in 2023. So I read 50 books last year, and honestly, I have some that I loved, I have some that I hated, and I have some that I questioned my sanity for. So this is going to be a fun journey going down memory lane with all of these. So let's get started. Now, I've done 5 different categories for this. So I've got Loves of My Life, Can't Change My Mind. Those are the books that are 5 stars, I love absolutely, and I would not change anything about them. Then they are decent books, which is books that I enjoyed, they were good books, I had a good time reading them, they're not groundbreaking and they're not in my top list, but they're still really good ones. Next up is, I'd probably change my rating. Those are books that I gave a higher rating to just because I have this thing where I feel bad if I give a book a low rating, even if I did enjoy it. But I didn't enjoy it enough to give it a higher rating. I didn't enjoy enough to make it actually this rating. But now I'm reconsidering it and being harsher. It deserves a lower one. Next is, I honestly don't remember much. It's a book that, those are books that are just, I know I enjoyed them at the time, but are they groundbreaking? No. And I obviously not, because I don't remember a single thing about them. And then the final category is, why did I read this book? Now those are the books that I'm questioning my sanity for reading, and I just absolutely hated them. So yeah, this should be a fun experience. So first up we have It Starts With Us by Colleen Hoover. Now I'm probably going to get judged by a few people for the category I'm putting this in, but this is going in Loves of My Life. Can't change my mind on it. Now this is an unpopular opinion, because I know a lot of people didn't like this. They said that It Ends With Us didn't need a sequel, it should have ended where it did, but I really enjoyed this. I gave it a 5 star. I read it in 2 days, and yeah, it was incredible, absolutely incredible. And I think that it was a good addition. I loved getting to see Lily and Atlas's story and seeing Lily heal and everything, and yeah, no, I really liked it. I really enjoyed it. The next ones, now this is going to be a bunch of them. This is going to be 2 novellas and 5 comics, and this is the Heartstopper series. This series means the entire world to me. I've read this series, I think 3, maybe 4 times. I own multiple copies of the books. I've talked about this series so many times, and everyone should know by now how much I love it. I give them all 5 stars. Some people may disagree with me and say they're not 5 stars, but to me they are. I think they're a beautiful coming of age comic book about kids struggling through school and the bullying and the mental health issues that come with it, and also being gay in high school. It's not easy if you get found out. I luckily had a very good group of friends when I was in high school who accepted me for my sexuality. But a lot of people obviously don't get that, and yeah, no, it's just such a good series, and I think that it should be something that anyone who is in high school or anything should read it. And my little sister's read these comics and she loved them as well, and yeah, no, they're amazing. I've watched the TV show so many times. I can't wait for season 3, and I will be rereading these books again this year just because I know that I love them. I also just really love the novellas This Winter and Nick and Charlie, because This Winter really digs into mental health and, trigger warning, it does involve things to do with eating disorders. And yeah, so yeah, no, it's amazing, and I love them, and I just want more. I can't wait for the next comic to come out. The next one on this list is, these ones are going in, why did I read this book? Now, these are two that I read at the end of last year, and I know the reason why I read them is because I wanted two very quick, easy novellas to bump up my reading goal, because I wanted to get to 50 books by the end of the year, and the book that I was reading at the time at the end of the year, I knew I wasn't going to finish fast enough to be able to read two other proper books, so I did this, and I think I gave them both 2 stars. One's called Daddy Goes First, and the other one is Daddy's Perfect Ballerina. Don't ask me why I read these, okay? They were like less than 100 pages, and they were spicy romances, and I just thought I'd give it a try. And yeah. The next couple of books are going to be going into the same category. The first one is We're Never Getting Back Together. Now, I'm all for a good cheesy romance, but this book bored me to death. It was so boring. I just wanted it to end. I got it as an ARC off NetGalley, and I gave it a 1.5 stars because I just really didn't like it. I just found it to be quite repetitive. A lot of the things the characters did were just stupid and were done for no reason. There was a lot of miscommunication, which is just a trope that really angers me. And yeah, no, just... I wouldn't recommend it. I gave it a 1.5 stars. I think I'd even lower it to a 1 star because I disliked this book that much. Which may sound harsh, and some people may love it because it's supposed to be like a cozy kind of Gilmore Girls vibe book, and that's what drew me in, because I love Gilmore Girls. I've watched the TV show like 2-3 times, and I genuinely really, really enjoy it. But this book, the only aspect of it that was like Gilmore Girls is the town that they live in. That's it. So yeah, no, it wasn't for me. I really didn't enjoy it. The next one is another one that goes in this category, and that is Welcome to Camp Killer. Now, this book, it isn't a problem with the book, it's a problem with me. And because it's a YA book. Now, if you watched my videos before, you will know I don't like YA. I haven't liked YA in a good few years. I'm 23 now, and they're not the kind of books I read. I like reading adult books, and I just found this book really boring. I read it really quickly because it was a very short book, but I think it was definitely targeted towards a much younger age group than me. I think it's more targeted towards my little sister's age group, and she's 12. So yeah, I gave this 2 stars, and I just found it predictable. Like, I automatically knew who the killer was like 20% of the way through. So yeah. Next up, I'm going to do all these ones together. These are the Ryan series novellas by Sadie Kincaid. These are all going to go in, I honestly don't remember much. And that is because I just don't. They are really short novellas. Sadie brings them out quite often. She's just brought another one out recently. And don't get me wrong, I love the Ryan series. I gave all the books in that series a 5 star because I genuinely just love them that much, and I would happily reread them again. I want the physical versions. But as of right now, I don't remember a single thing about any of these books. I know there was a lot of spice in them, but that's about it. Like, the most recent novella that she brought out is literally 37 pages long. I'm going to be able to read that in like half an hour. And yes, I know that's probably slow to some people, but I'm a slow reader, okay? But yeah, so... Don't remember, but they were good books. I enjoyed them when I read them. They're very good little palate cleansers. Like, they're very quick, easy to read, spicy books. And if you ever want a book like that, check out Sadie Kincaid's books on Kindle Unlimited, because they're really good, and I genuinely really, really enjoy them. The next book we have on this list is another one that is going in the bottom categories, and that is If the Shoe Fits. This is going in Why Did I Read This Book? Honestly, when I got this book, I was so excited for it. I was ready for it to be like a 4 or 5 star, because the concept of it sounds amazing. It's a modern day retelling of Cinderella, and I love that. I love the Cinderella story movies, the one with Hilary Duff. I love the one with Lucy Hale and the one with Selena Gomez, and I was like, it's going to have the same vibes as them, and I love them. So I was like, great, I'm going to love this book. 200 pages of trash. Like literally, this girl's entire personality was the fact that she was a big girl. Now, I am all for plus size representation in books. I'm a plus size woman myself. There's no hiding it. I know it, but everyone watching knows it. But that doesn't need to be your entire personality. Like, yeah, I'll make jokes about my body and everything, but I also have other things that I talk about. I talk about books and movies and TV shows. I talk about my friends all the time. I've mentioned them on my channel like 100 times. So yeah, no, just not a vibe in the slightest. Just no. So honestly, I'm thinking of lowering my rating to like a 1.5 star because I dislike this book that much. So it's dropping down an entire star rating from what it was. I gave it 2.5 when I read it because I felt mean for going it lower. But yeah, no, I don't even know why I finished that book. I should have DNF'd it when I got 30% of the way in and I knew I didn't like it. But dumb girl brain didn't. So yeah, that one is going in why did I read this book, because I would not recommend it to anyone. Because just because you're a plus size woman doesn't mean your weight needs to be your entire personality. Next up, we have This Spells Love. Now, this was another arc that I did read, and I'm putting this in, they're a decent book. I genuinely really liked it. I gave it a 3.75 when I read it, and honestly, it was like, it wasn't anything like spectacular. It was a romance book. But you know, I just found it really good. I found it funny. I found it cute. I liked the premise of it because like it was a whole like spell thing and the main character got sent into an alternate dimension, and yeah, no, it was really good, and I did really enjoy it. I think if I reread it again, I'd probably give it a higher rating, if I'm being honest. But yeah, no, it's a decent book and I would recommend it to people. And even after I read the arc, I bought the physical version because I saw it in Sainsbury's for £4 and I was like, why not? Might as well buy it, because £4 for a book is a bargain these days. Most of them are too expensive. The next one I'm going to do as a set because they're the first two books in the If Love series by Anna Huang, and that's If We Ever Meet Again and If the Sun Never Sets. I'm going to put these both in. They're decent books. They're not my favourite Anna Huang books by a long shot. I genuinely I did like the books, but they're not my favourite books for Anna's. My favourite two books is Twisted Games and Twisted Hate. They're my favourite two books in the series, and I can't wait to read her Kings of Sin series. That's on my TBR. I've reread Twisted Love twice, and yeah, no, but I gave book 1 a 4-star and book 2 a 4.5 star, and I had the next two books in the series that I'm going to try and read this month if I can get myself out of my reading slump that I'm in. I'm in a bit of a slump after I finished reading 1,000 Boy Kisses because that book broke me. Anyway, but yeah, no, I did really like them and they're decent books. And I think if people are a fan of Anna Huang, they should pick them up because they are good books. So yeah, the next one on this list is Law. Now, this one is, I'm putting it in, they're a decent book. I only gave this, I think, a 3.5, but I think that was more to do with the headspace I was in when I read the book than to do with the actual book itself. At the time, I was in a major reading slump. Like in February, that was the only book I read. And the reason I was in a slump is because I was doing a TBR jar and I was trying to force myself to read books from the jar. So like I would pick a book out and I was like, okay, this is the book I have to read now. That TBR jar did not last. I spent like 2 hours writing down every single book I own just to throw it away like 2 months later. Wasn't fun, but it's fine. I do want to reread Law because I do know it is one of Remy's favourite books and I know he loves it so much. So I do want to give it another go because I want to be able to talk to him about it because I don't really remember that much about it right now. I do remember the main plot of it and everything. And I know those characters that I genuinely loved and enjoyed in the book. So I do want to give it another go because I think my rating could go up for it. Next up is It All Comes Back to You by Melissa Wisner. This was another arc that I got off of NetGalley. This was an audiobook. I read this when I was travelling to London and back because I went to see a friend in October. Hi Melissa, by the way. I know you're watching this. You watch all my videos and I love you. But yeah, no, I read this when I was going to visit Melissa in London in October, and honestly such a good book. I think I gave it a 4.25 stars, and it was just really good. It was so enjoyable. The characters were so lovable. I loved the story. It was very emotional, and yeah, I want the physical copy of it because I want to reread the physical version because I only listened to the audiobook version of it. But yeah, no, I really, really liked it. The next ones I'm going to do together, and these are the first 5 books in the Harry Potter series. So, first up, we have Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. I gave this a 5 star. Honestly, I'm going to put it in, I'd probably change my rating because now that I've read some of the other books in the series, it's not my favourite. I don't know why I gave it a 5 star. Honestly, like, I think I would probably give it a 4 star now. And that is honestly my opinion with Chamber of Secrets as well. Because good books, I do like them. But I stand Harry Potter characters and the Harry Potter world. I do not stand J.K. Rowling. Get that out there before anyone tries to give me hate. I just love the Harry Potter world, and this is my first time reading the books. And yeah, no, the first 2 books, I think I'd probably lower my rating to a 4 star for them. Now, Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. That is love of my life, not changing my mind. I love that book. I love it so much. Sirius Black is in that book. He comes into it and I love him. I love Sirius Black. He is my king. Him and Remus, whew, gods. Just, yeah, perfect character. I love Sirius. I love Remus. I'm literally the Moony to Remy's Padfoot. Like, we are platonic Wolfstar. And if you don't know what Wolfstar is, then you are not part of the Marauders fandom. But yeah, no, just incredible book. I love it. And I will not to remind, that is the one book that will be staying a 5 star. Now next, Goblet of Fire. I gave it a 4 star, but honestly, I'd probably lower it to a 3.5 because why do the books just in that series keep getting longer? And then that brings, I don't even really remember much about Goblet of Fire. Like, I know the premise of it because I know the movie off by heart because I've watched the movie loads. And I know the premise of the book. And there's more detail in the book. But, it's the same with Order of the Phoenix. The audacity that the Order of the Phoenix had to be 800 pages. 800 pages. And for what? Like, some of that was just utter nonsense. I'm honestly considering lowering my rating to a 3 star because I gave it a 3.5 when I read it, and I think I gave Goblet of Fire a 4 star. That's going down to a 3.5 or a 3 star. Yeah, no, now that I've read more books and stuff, and I think I gave them 5 stars purely for the nostalgia purposes because Harry Potter's been a big part of my life since I was a kid. But yeah, no, just. They're good books and I do enjoy them, and I am planning to read the last 2 books in the series this year, but I don't think the ratings I gave them when I first read them are going to stand apart from with Prisoner of Azkaban. Next up on this list we have A Scatter of Light. I'm going to put this one in, probably I'd change my rating. I think I gave this a 4 star when I read it. I'd probably lower my star rating to like a 3.5. It's a good book, don't get me wrong. It's a good, like, coming of age book, but some of the things that happen in it I don't agree with. Spoilers ahead if you want to read this book. It does involve the cheating trope, and that's just not a trope I'm a fan of. And it kind of basically like romanticizes the cheating a little bit, and that doesn't sit right with me. At the time I really enjoyed it, but now I'm thinking back, I'd probably lower my rating to like a 3 or a 3.5. I don't know if I'd ever read it again. Maybe not. Maybe if I'm ever wanting a quick read, because I read it like in 2 days and it's an easy book to read because it's got very like thick, like it's like very large words on the pages, and it's not that long. And also like, I think this book is more new adult than it is like an adult book because it hints to spice and it like alludes to it, and it like basically fades to black, but it's definitely not YA because some of the topics they talk about, it's not YA, but yeah. Next up is another ones I'm going to do together because I read these are all part of a series. The second, third and fourth book in the Twisted series. Twisted Games and Twisted Hate are both going in Loves of My Life, Can't Change My Mind. And that is because they are god tier books. I love them. Reese is the best man. Can't change my mind on that. But Josh and Jules are the best couple. Apart from that one thing that Josh does. If you read it, you know. You know what he did. I will not forgive him for that. But I still love their relationship more than the other ones because I just love the toxicity. I think that's right. Anyway, yeah. No, those are both going to be in Loves of My Life, Can't Change My Mind. Whereas book 4 in that series, whew, that's going to go in, honestly change my rating. I gave it a 4-star after I read it. Well, no, I originally gave it a 3.5, but then I upped it to a 4 because I thought I was being too harsh because I read the entire book. So I was like, yeah, I got through like a 500-page book. Of course I liked it. No, 3.5, maybe even a 3. Now, that hurts me because I love Anna and I love her work. But yeah, no. Twisted Lies just ain't for me, babes. Just ain't for me. But yeah, no, Twisted Games and Twisted Hate will always be my all-time favourites. Next up, we have Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. Love of my life, can't change my mind. And that is because I adored this book. I read it in 4 days, which is impressive for me because it's a 500-page book with really long chapters, and I read the hardback edition. And I don't normally read that quickly when it's one of them. But this one, I loved it. That's what I was impressive with Geordie. She read it in one sitting, and I'm like, how, babes? I gave it a 5-star. I also own Iron Flame. I am planning on reading it, but because I think it's called Onyx Storm doesn't come out until January of next year, I'm thinking of rereading Fourth Wing later this year and then reading Iron Flame not long before Onyx Storm comes out, so then it's fresh in my mind. But yeah, no, I don't love it. I love the dragons. I love the fantasy. This was like my first like proper like fantasy book I read, and yeah, just amazing, like absolutely incredible. And Xaden, I'm in love with you so much. Dane, out the door, please, or get burned to a crisp by a dragon. Either way, I'm fine with it. Just go away. Next up, now this book, I will never ever shut up about this book, and that is Secrets of the Dead by Laura Carter. Now this book, you can best goddamn believe it's going in the front spot of Loves of My Life and Can't Change My Mind. This goddamn book is so good. It's so good. Laura is an incredible author. I cannot wait for book 2 of this series to come out. Legacy of the Heirs comes out August 6th. Go pre-order on Laura's website, link below. And yeah, I just ordered myself the physical copy of book 1 because I want it on my shelf. I've already read it. It's on my Kindle. And could it have just stayed on my Kindle? Yeah, sure. If I was a psycho. No, I need it on my shelf. It needs to be on there. And of course I ordered the signed edition off of Laura's website. So money goes straight to her and not ordering it through Amazon. But yeah, no. The romance, top tier. The quotes from this book, the characters, the world building, the writing, everything about it gives me chills. I love it. I love it so much. I read this book close to the end of last year and it knocked every book out of the park. Knocked every single one of them. And some of these books that are on this thing are going in my Loves of My Life, Can't Change My Mind. This book knocked everyone out of them. And I cannot wait for book 2. I've also applied for an ARC of book 2, and if I get it, I will sob like a baby. And then once my tears have dried, I will be sitting in my little cave, also known as my room, and just reading it. And then questioning my life choices and trying to find other ARC readers so I can talk about the experience without ruining it for anyone who isn't an ARC reader. But that's only if I get an ARC. Now in my luck, I probably won't, and then I'll cry. Again. But it's fine. If I don't, I'll just have to wait till August 6th like everyone else. I will be pre-ordering the book anyway. But yeah. And obviously ordering off Laura's website because I want the signed edition. Okay, next up we have Birthday Kisses. Honestly don't remember much, babes. This is a novella from A Million Kisses in Your Lifetime. I read it because I found it on Kindle Unlimited. Wanted a short novella to bulk up my reading goal. I don't even remember what I rated it. I think I gave it a 4-star. Honestly, but like I don't even think it's a 4-star. I'd probably just lower my rating. But yeah, no, it's going in I don't remember much because I don't even remember what happened. really. I think it was one of the characters' birthdays or something, and her and the guy she got with in the actual book went out to celebrate, maybe? I don't freaking know. It was there. It happened. We're moving on. Next now. This book, the first book to ever make me cry. Not sob, that was Thousand Boy Kisses. But this book was the first book to ever make me cry, and that was Say You Swear by Megan Brandy. God tier book. God tier. Now, I'm normally on the side of no romance book needs to be over 500 pages. Well, so no romance book needs to be over 300 pages, to be honest. But this one, 504 pages wasn't enough. Like, I'm sorry, I needed more. And book 2 comes out this year. I can't wait. It's Peyton's book, and if you've read the series, and if the love interest is not Mason, I will be pitching a fit. But then I also need a Brady book, because Brady is my man. I love you. I will always love you. You're a god. And so good. I love it. Anyway, before I start crying, moving on to the next book. The Roommate. This one is going to be in They're a Decent Book. At the time when I read it, I absolutely loved it, because this was the first book that ever made me like physically laugh out loud while reading, because that had never happened before. And it's still a really, really good book. I stand by my 5-star rating, and it's a decent book, and I would say people should read it, because it's a good like little spicy romance. And it's funny, the characters are great, and I think it goes really quickly. It's your typical romance book, but it's not in my loves of my life list, because like since I've read it, like yes, I have thought about it, but not as much as the books that are on this list, and I've not spoken about it either. Next up, we have Ghosted by Sarah Reddy. This is another one that's going in They're a Decent Book. This was another arc I got, and I really liked it. I listened to the audiobook of it. It was funny, it was cute, it was it was a paranormal twist on your like normal everyday romance, and I liked it. I think I gave it like a 4.25 or a 4.5 star, and I say people should read it, because I think it's a genuinely really good book, and I want the physical version to have on myself, because I just really liked it. Okay, up next is another one of those novellas that I read because I wanted to just book up my reading goal. This was because at the start of last year, I set my reading goal to 100 books. God knows why, when every other year before I only read 25. The fact I read 50 books last year is an achievement for me. Honestly, the fact that I've already read 14 books this year is an achievement, considering it's only April, and I normally don't read that quickly. But anyway, we move. Games we play, it was a little novella, it was spicy. But honestly, I think I gave it a 3-star. I just don't honestly remember much, babes. Like, all I know, it was one of those books that I enjoyed reading it at the time, and I liked it. And like, if you want a quick like steamy novella, pick it up. I think it's like 100 and something pages. It's really quick. I read it in like an hour or so. But yeah, I liked it, but it's not like a god tier book. Next up is a series. Now, I don't know if I'm going to finish this series. I doubt it, because I'm just not interested anymore. I gave these books 5 stars when I read them, and frankly, I'd probably change my rating. Don't know why I thought giving these books 5 stars was the thing, because they aren't 5-star books. They're a 3-star book at most. They're a Why Choose romance book series, and like, I saw it on TikTok. It's set in a dance academy, and like, do I like them? Yeah, but they're not that great. Honestly, they're not. And yeah, I'd probably lower my rating from a 5-star to a 3-star for each of them, because like with Freestyle, the first book in the series, I started it in November of 2022. I didn't finish it until February of 2023. So I don't even know if it was February. I think it might have been later. So it took me a long time to read it. It took me a couple of months. So I don't even know why I gave it a 5-star, if I'm being completely honest with you. And it's the same with Lyrical and Breakers. Just, I don't know. Okay, I gave 5 stars out too easily. I still do. But at least now I know the books I'm giving 5 stars to are good books. Next up we have, now this is one that's going in my top category of loves of my life, can't change my mind, and that is Daughter of the Siren Queen. I loved Daughter of the Pirate King, and I adore Daughter of the Siren Queen, and I love this duology. I would happily read it again. I love the characters, and honestly, I'd love to see it as a movie. Like, I need more pirate books, honestly. They're the only pirate books I've read, and I genuinely, like, they're ingrained in my brain. And, like, yes, I need it more. I need more. I know there's another book that's come out, but it's not the same characters, so I'm a bit skeptical about picking it up, because the reason I love the first book and second book so much is because of the characters in it. Now, this next one. We Hunt the Flame. Honestly, I don't remember much, babes. And I'd honestly probably change my rating. I gave it a 3.5 star. Now, you guys will know my opinion if you saw my video that I read this, and I was reading books suggested to me by my favourite BookTokers. This is the book that made me have to read the freaking bloody 2 little novellas that I read at the end of last year. It just bored me. The writing was annoying. The chapters were too long. It was just too much of a thick book, and I just did not like it. And frankly, I'm probably not even going to pick up the second book, because I just don't care enough to know what happens next. So yeah, that is going in. I honestly don't remember much, and I'm probably going to lower my rating for it. Now, this next one. This is going right next to Say You Swear, because 1% of You, it's one of my all-time favourite books now. I read this book in a single sitting. First ever book I did that with, and I've said it many, many times. I literally have said it many times what happened with this book, and I can't stop thinking about it. I want to reread it, because I have the physical copy and I want to annotate it. I want to reread it already, but it's too soon to reread it because I did not read it that long ago. But yeah, it's just so good. Single Parent Grumpy Sunshine, sign me up. So yeah, that will always be in my loves of my life, can't change my mind. Next up we have Peaches and Cream. This one, I'd probably change my rating. I think I gave it a 4 star when I read it. But honestly, I've not thought about it since I read it. I actually forgot I had read it. And I think that's a sign that it does not deserve a 4 star, maybe a 3 or a 2.5, if I'm being completely honest. So yeah, no, I think I'd probably lower this to a 3 star, because frankly, I don't know. It was there, it happened, it's a cute summer romance, it's LGBTQ, so if you want like a cute LGBTQ sapphic romance to read during the summer, then go for this one. Next up we have Bonecryer's Dawn. This is the second book in the Bonecryer's Moon series. I gave this a 4.5, and honestly, I think I'd probably change my rating to a 4 star, because even though I liked it, I found it very repetitive. I found it annoyed me in some places. I just wanted them to get to the point already. They kept seeming to make the same mistakes over and over again. And yeah, no, I just think that book doesn't deserve the 4.5 I gave it. I think I'd lower it to a 4, because it's just not my favourite book. I enjoyed the first one a lot more, because I gave the first one a 5 star. We're on down to the final 3. So the next one is House of Hollow. This one, love of my life, can't change my mind. This is a 5 star goddamn book. Now, the fact that it took me a year to read it is a me thing, not a book thing. That is because I tried to force myself to annotate it, when, like, frankly, I was just doing that because that's what BookTok was telling me to do. But then after I gave up on annotating, I ripped out the tabs I put in, and I just read the rest of the book, and I finished it really quickly. I really loved it. I finished it when I was on holiday with my dad and my little sister, and it's just so good. It's such a book that's out of my comfort zone, but it's something that I'm obsessed with, and I want to reread it, and I want to I want a second book, but I'm not gonna get it because I think it's a standalone. Next up we have Layla. I'm gonna put this in. It's a decent book because it is. It's a weird book. Like, the whole eating her hair thing. What? I enjoyed it. I listened to it on Audible because I just wanted to listen to an audiobook. And yeah, no, I liked it and I enjoyed it, and I want the physical copy of it because I did genuinely like it. But yeah, no, nothing groundbreaking. Decent book. I think I gave it a 5-star. I'd probably lower it to a 4-star. But yeah, no, it's a good book. And then the final one is Heir to Thorn and Flame. Probably gonna be in my, I'd probably change my rating. And that is because, like, I read the book, I enjoyed it, it wasn't the best, and then, like, I got an arc of the second book, and I've not even finished the second book. I didn't finish it before the arc release date, because I just wasn't really liking it, and I just didn't really like the style of it anymore. So yeah, wasn't my favourite. I'd probably lower my rating to probably like a 3-star now that I think about it. And yeah, just not for me, babes. So that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I enjoyed making this. I hope you enjoyed seeing my ratings for some of these books. Honestly, a lot more of them went down in my like lower categories than I expected, because when I read these books I genuinely really liked them, but now when I think back to it, because I've read so many books that are so much better now, I just think that like it wasn't for me. But yeah, no, that is it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please like, comment, subscribe, let me know what you thought in the comments below, and I will catch you next time.